Thank you for tuning in here on the Impact Post Show on Impact's YouTube channel. I'm Tom Hannifan. He's the Drama King Matthew Rehwoldt. The fans are making their way out of the Ohio Expo Center here in Columbus, Ohio. It was another spectacular night of action, capped off by our main event. Steve Maclin and Bully Ray finding a way to win against Eddie Edwards and Frankie Kazarian. Bunch of miscues between Kazarian and Edwards. That seems to be troublesome. Maclin and Bully look strong.
Yeah, and they're looking strong heading into Slammiversary. We're still a couple weeks away, I know, but that is a good start for those two.
Yeah, a good start. Obviously, they'll battle Scott D'Amore and PCO at Slammiversary. More on that in a little while. But first, I want to cycle back to our earliest matches of the evening. It was OVE up against the Good Hands and Brian Myers. Now, the OVE had the home turf advantage here in Ohio. Great reception. They looked great at Against All Odds, defeating the Design in an Ohio street fight. What I was curious about was how would the Good Hands and Myers rebound after the Good Hands did not capture the Impact World Tag Team titles from the ABC. Moose came out. That I wasn't expecting.
Came out?
Why do you think Moose did what he did?
I mean, I don't know. We've speculated about this in the past, and we maybe forgot about it. Maybe that's why they chose to strike now. But there would seem to be a little bit of a bond, a team forming between Moose and Myers months ago. I mean, talk about even hardcore war being on the side of Team Bully against Team Dreamer there. So we thought maybe that would turn into something, but then Brian Myers finds this rapport with the Good Hands, leading them, thought he could lead them to a tag team title victory. Didn't quite happen that way. So maybe this is just more fruit on the vine, more meat on the bone, kind of revisiting that, maybe getting to finally where they think they can truly get maybe tag team gold. I don't want to speculate. Yes, I do want to speculate. That's exactly what I want.
That's what the show's all about. But Moose, I think, has come up short in a handful of matches, trying to get back to the Impact World Championship and sees something that he and Brian Myers were on the brink of. Hell, you were already printing the damn T-shirts, the most professional wrestling gods.
Oh, my God, that's true. I had a great idea. I always have great ideas.
One great idea. And obviously, this all came at the expense, really, of the Design splintering at Against All Odds, against OVE, so things have kind of disintegrated in that respect. And to that point, that's something that Santino Marella has felt. He's felt the wrath of the Design, and earlier on tonight was dealing with Dirty Dango, delivered a cobra to Dango that I frankly believe Dango had coming for a long time, and Santino didn't want to express himself that way. I know he didn't want to get physical, but
express himself that way, as if he's saying a poem.
Hell,
no,
Scott,
he put his hands on a tail. Yeah, I was going to say, similar to the situation.
Scott D'Amore obviously took a leave of absence to do what he did, but this is
well, we can't have another authority figure take a leave of absence. No. We would have no authority. That would mean Tom is in charge, and that's bad for everybody.
No, we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that. But do you believe Dirty Dango deserved what he got?
I mean, Dirty Dango. His name's Dirty Dango. I mean, he doesn't care. I don't think you're talking about he seems upset at all these people. I don't think he cares. That's the thing. It's like, this is a guy who either feels so confident in himself, in his life, and what he has. He talks about his business and all this stuff all the time. I just don't think he gives a damn what anybody thinks of him, Santino Marella included.
I think he really cares that the fans care about other wrestlers and not him. I think that's something that's really bothering him.
I think he knows he's a star. That's his whole point.
Dango has recently come up short in regards to bids for the Digital Media Championship against Joe Hendry. Speaking of which, we are going to dive into what is next for the longest reigning Digital Media Champion of all time in Joe Hendry when we come back. And also, we're going to delve into our main event, Steve Maclin and Bully Ray up against Eddie Edwards and Frankie Kazarian. Don't go anywhere.
On July 15th,
at long last, it's Shelley's time!
The reigning and defending Impact Wrestling World Champion, Alex Shelley.
My company, my generation.
The former world champion, the national treasure, Nick Aldis.
I'll let you in on a little secret.
Oh my God!
I'm winning the Impact World Championship at Slammiversary.
Slammiversary, Saturday, July 15th on pay-per-view.
Fans are making their way out here of the Ohio Expo Center in Columbus, Ohio. Our continuing coverage here in the Impact Zone. Earlier on tonight, we saw the Digital Media Champion Joe Hendry successfully retain his title once again against Yuya Uemura in a first-time ever matchup. Great effort by Uemura, but Hendry proving just how freaking strong he is. The way he won was so impressive.
Yeah, and Uemura's not a small man. Let's put it that way. He's a big, strong boy. But Hendry able to get it done. And Hendry also had a little bit of an admirer, an observer here. Admirer maybe stretching it, but an observer here at ringside who had his eyes both on Hendry and the digital media title.
I'll be honest, wasn't really thrilled that Kenny King came out here and interjected himself
Why
into
am I
the
not
situation.
surprised?
Well, frankly,
Sorry, somebody more handsome and charismatic and interesting than you comes to sit at the table, and you got a little jealous.
unbelievable. Kenny King obviously was getting involved last week in the situation with Aldis, the Motor City Machine Guns, Trey Miguel, because I think he sensed an opportunity for himself that if he dove in to what became that huge all-star 5-on-5 tag team match, you get a win, you snake your way this way, you vulture this type of win, maybe he finds himself in title contention. Oh, and by the way, Sheldon Jean can help him do it.
Well, when did opportunist become a bad word? It's someone who sees an opportunity and takes it. That's what Kenny King did. That's what he does. It's not a bad thing.
Well, Kenny King has made it clear he's interested in the Digital Media Championship. However, before he could even think about earning a digital media title shot, we understand that in Australia on Friday, June 30th, live on Fight TV at 5 a.m. Eastern, also available video on demand, exclusively on Fight. It'll be Joe Hendry defending his digital media championship against Eddie Edwards as a part of Impact's Australian Down Under tour in Wagga Wagga. So first, Hendry's got to deal with Edwards. I think Edwards is maybe a little mixed up after what happened tonight in our main event.
Yeah, that was very, very interesting. I mentioned it on broadcast, incredibly surprised at how well him and Kazarian worked together. I talked about how I think Edwards felt that this kinship kind of rekindled. Maybe their match at Against All Odds brought something back, like a little bit of that competitive rivalry, but in a good way.
Yeah.
And then their shared past with Killer Kowalski, which is hung so heavy over the situation with them too. It's a classic, you can't mess with my brother, my buddy. That's only we can fight amongst our family kind of feeling that Eddie was trying to prove to Frankie Kazarian here tonight. And it started off right. It just didn't end the way they wanted.
I think it was progressing nicely, to your point. I think the actions of Bully Ray really changed things. Bully Ray targeting Alicia Edwards, I think that naturally threw off something in the mind of Eddie Edwards. Obviously wanted to defend his wife. Then the miscues started to pile up. And let's not forget, at one point, the eyes of Eddie Edwards were gouged. He was trying to fight there, and he had sustained a mild injury, of course. But I think the actions of Bully Ray really made this a problem, and that's what concerns me for what's going down at Slammiversary. Bully Ray and Steve Maclin got the win tonight against two of the very best Impact has ever seen. Two active, full-time competitors in Kazarian and Edwards. How does this go down at Slammiversary, Saturday, July 15th, Windsor, Ontario, Canada, live on pay-per-view, Fight TV and DAZN, when Maclin and Bully face PCO and Scott D'Amore?
I mean, look, PCO's great backup. We know what he's been through, what he's willing to go through. Scott D'Amore is going to have to get himself ready and rely on guts and balls and piss and vinegar to pull him through it, and it's not going to be easy.
Scott D'Amore does have the advantage. He's in his hometown, and also Slammiversary is very near and dear to his heart. Bully Ray and Maclin have wanted to embarrass him, humiliate this entire company, a chance to stand up for himself and this entire company come Slammiversary, but he's going to have his work cut out for him. There is a lot for us to focus on. Thank you for tuning in here tonight from Columbus, Ohio. He's Rehwoldt. I'm Hannifan. We'll see you next time.